really anxious right now. We have the Taichung brother who designed the artwork. So from here, you can see that ever since 2018, our superintendent directors have been joining us every year, and sometimes he'll be able to make it in person. Previously, his was scheduled for next week, however, because he had a very important meeting next week, so needed to trade his time slot. Anytime is a good time for us, and today we will be talking about using Western and Eastern medicines. Now, as we know, it is now a trend for that Western and Eastern medicine are combining together. So Hualien City Hospital have hosted a symposium to showcase their results. You can see you can move your hand, move your feet. Now, Mrs. Zhao came from Hong Kong due to autoimmune disease and leading to neurodegenerations. And with the aid of the Western Eastern medicine, she's able to walk here. Using precision medication, they were able to overcome rare and irreversible conditions. So it coincides with Matt Master has shared with us that our plants, grass or wood, all have their magical powers, their properties, and if we use it properly, then we can cure diseases. So not only is Hualien City Hospital advancing in the medical endeavors, they are also working on becoming net zero, carbon neutral, and that is their goal in by 2050. So very grateful that Hualien City Hospital that have received the certification on Hualien City Hospital's its carbon reduction powers. And he shared that not just in Hualien, but we will also share his experiences to other 17 hospitals. So let us welcome our speaker today for his positive energy. First of all, I'm very grateful. Teacher Mei Yun has invited me every year to come and share, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. This is a worldwide platform, and I'm very honored to be here. And I can see everybody is exercising, able to move around. That really tell me that you're all young, or at least young at heart. And I'm sharing to leave a written lineage. All right, so now that his presentation is online, and all the brothers and sisters from across the world, hope you're all doing well. My name is LinXinrong. I'm the Superintendent Directors at the Hualien City Hospital. Today, I want to share with you precision Western Eastern medication combined. And it's also following Master's instructions that before COVID-19, she asked us to develop using herbal medicines to aid and cure diseases that Western medicine so far has not been able to treat. It is based on using DNA, RNA that we have inherited from our parents and finding the possible illnesses from the DNA. and learning how to find medications when these illnesses occur. As we know, there's maybe tens of thousands types of Western medication, but the herbal medications are countless and is very numerous. A lot of those have endured thousands of years of application and have cases from all the way back then. So using herbal medication, especially base the treatment from the DNA and RNA makeup, we're able to gather data and comparison and find effectiveness, or we are able to find significant improvement in the conditions. And that is what we've been looking for and use it to treat illnesses. So I will go over this really quickly. Now, I am a neurosurgeon, and Western medicine is the specialty of our deputy superintendent. But despite our differences, we all face the same dilemma. So if the patient can't wake up or can't walk, what can we do? And this, when the all the doctors have given up on this treatment, what do? Well, they come and find us at Hualien City Medical Center because we have the best staff to help them. And our goal is to wake them up and they can walk. So let me share with you some of the cases of let's start with Parkinson's disease. About 25 years ago, we are using human fetal cells to treat Parkinson's disease. During that time, the fetal cells were developing dopamine, and we would transplant this to the patient's brain to treat the illness. We noticed significant improvement in pretty much everybody. Some were able to reclaim 80% of their mobility and mental acuity. For example, ex example, Mr. Huang, even 20 years after the cellular treatment, he was still able to maintain most of the functions. And this was a very popular treatment. And we have treated more than about 500 cases and have long-term success. And now, with the advances, we are able to, with the advances in technology, we're able to find new treatments in laboratories. And we're able to find from stem cells to produce the dopamine and experimented on mice. And from the results, we can see here there's multiple different colors because we were using different markers to track the dopamine level. As you can see here, for so for those mice that we transplanted Parkinson's cells, you can see the differences in their brain, and from there we can see the mice able to restore its functions with the dopamine precursor cells. And this has been a very popular treatment modality for people with Parkinson's disease. And even though we're prepared, we're still waiting for FDA clearance for this treatment. So in the meantime, it requires many different clinical trials and may take significant amount of time. As we know, as technology continues to advance, cellular therapy is becoming more and more important. And there's many different types of treatments Hualien City Hospital is capable of, including strokes and many different disease illnesses that were previously untreatable. So next, I want to share with you treatment that we use for treating malignant brain tumors. Currently, there is very little known treatments that comes from use of herbal medicine. So we were experimenting different types, and this is using dangui because in 2005, Master have shared her concern that the purpose of the city hospital is also to find treatments from Western medications, like herbal medications. So we're able to find a special uh, chemical in Dangui called BP, and it's able to reduce the resistance of brain tumor cells to medication temozolomide. Because these cells have become resistant to these medications, we see a recurrence of the tumor cells. And to treat that, we applied BP, and within 24 hours, we can see a elimination of the drug-resistant genes. And that started a new way of treating drug-resistant cancer. So we find significant improvement in one of the most difficult to treat cancer in the world. Because usually for patients who have recurrences, they pass away in 4 to 6 months. So let me share with you one of the cases. Mr. Wang was 58 years old. We see that this herbal medication does not affect healthy cells, but rather targets only malignant cells. So when his brain tumor recurred, we're able to apply these medication around the tumor. And this is a picture of how the wafers were applied. And after we applied the medication, we sew the layers back together. And it will continue to release over the course of a month. As we can see, the next day, he's able to function, talk, move normally. And it does not affect normal cells. So you can see he's able to walk. We hope that we're able to combine traditional Chinese and Western medicine. And in the past 10 years, we've been developing this medication. For another example was Mr. Xia. He is a ophthalmologist. He has 3 recurrences. And when he came to the Tsuchi Hospital, we did the same way and put in 6 wafers on his on the right side of his brain. And within 24 hours, he can take the medication that was previously ineffective. and he's able to live for 4 years and 1 month. Typical average is about 4 to 6 months. So we can see that it's really effective combining traditional Chinese herbal medications with Western mm, uh, medical treatments. Now we have about 20 cases, and some of them live over 2 years, 4 years. Some of them are continuous, are still alive. As you can see here, that over a year, his tumor cells has reduced and it was cleared. And we're able to publish this in Nature and and share the effectiveness of Dangui in tumor treatments. So the key is in hub genes. We're able to suppress certain proteins within this that's produced by this gene and allowing the cancer cells once again to become susceptible to the medication. And when these malignant cells receive were treated with this substance, we were able to kill off and reduce the cancer cells. So now we're able to get a sample of the the cells from the patients. After analyzing the DNA and RNA, we can create a precision approach to treat these modalities. Uh, So in so now we're trying to push for a genome analysis of healthy individuals, and from there we can predict what kind of illnesses that this person may face or may encounter. So we can have take a more proactive approach to treat these illnesses. And that is what we're currently working on. As you can see from the previous videos, he actually has what's called mad cow disease, but it's not because he got it from eating beef. He inherited the genes that lead to the encephalitis. And for people with this kind of condition, they usually pass away in 3 to 6 months. But after analyzing his genes, we found that he has this mutation, and then we have crafted a medication just for him. And now he's able to talk and function normally. So, and certain rare diseases like this one, where there's only a one mutation, adrenal neuropathy. So what can we do here? It is a pretty famous disease featured in a movie, Lorenzo's Oil. And in this family, all their kids have this disease, have this mutation, and passed away. And we know that this is a sex-linked mutation. So there are certain, now, even though there's no way to cure it, we can find specific medications that could help to replace his the missing, the non-functional protein. And you can see that ever since he was diagnosed with this this condition, he has lost mobility in his legs and low and could not move his hand. His mom said that he has not drawn in 3 years, and now with the medication that we created for him, he's now finally able to draw again. Um, After a month and two, he was still he he regained his ability to walk, and now he's able to control his bowel movements again. And he has vowed that this year he would be able to walk again and share his experiences to help people who have rare conditions. Even after receiving all sorts of traditional therapy or cellular therapy, there was ineffective until he came to us. So in this case is a mesothelioma in the lungs. So from a biopsy of the cells, we found a mutation in the genes in the EGFR mutations. So we found medications from our herbal database. Some of the we found a very common medication or a very common herbal medications that was effective in this case. So this case is Parkinson's disease. And this is before treatment, before the precision treatment. And now after using the treatment, now he was able to play golf again and restore his mobility. So even from the previous video, you see he can barely walk, but now he can once again play golf. So now we're able to restore his life. And Mr. Rao from Hong Kong, he has a mutation in the titin gene, and he's needed a respirator to be able to breathe. So until finally he came to Hualien, and we were able to use ginseng. And we're able to use ginseng to improve his cardiac functions, his muscle tone. So we found that ginseng was very effective. And we're able to create we're able to stimulate the functions by 21 times so that he's able to regain his muscle. He's able to move his arm again. He can raise it up and regain his muscle tone. And he can even get off the bed, go to the bathroom again. So this is the effect of precision approach medication. So this is a medication that was developed by the but the abode. And we find that this is very effective in increasing muscle tone, muscle strength, and overcoming muscle atrophy. So every Wednesday, we share with Master the advances and approaches. And Master always tell us that there's spirits in herbs, and that we're able to help us overcome our illnesses. And with her instructions, we created a team, including bow masters and our superintendents, and our doctorate team. So, so this is the medication that, or this is the herbal drink that they created to be able to help us maintain our muscle health. And by drinking these herbal drinks, they are able to increase cellular mobility and strength. And as we know, our brothers and sisters may have certain illnesses on their own, so they were taking these tablets or these herbal drinks, and a lot of them have high amount of fiber to increase uh, their gut health. So this is our goal, hoping that when the patient comes, we're able to analyze their genomic makeup from blood, analyze their DNA, their RNA, and finding any mutation points, and analyze them for any diseases that they may have, and how prevent these illnesses or find medication to treat them. So with this combination, and you can see here this protein titin that we mentioned earlier. In a normal case, you can see all these green. That means there's new muscle and they are active. So this has been useful and increasing their muscle fibers. And here you can see the muscles of the mice from the mice. Those who do take do take the ginseng supplements have much bigger muscles, and you see a fuller muscle and more longer fibers. So lastly, I want to share this herbal tablet. It has a lot of fiber in there to help improve your blood cholesterol and to reduce fat formation, fat cells formation in the body, and it's very effective in weight control. In animal trials, by By feeding them high-fat feeds, we see the mice become very fat, very obese. But giving them a fiber supplement, you see a healthy reduction in their body fat. So those with a high dosage, we can see a notable reduction in the fat tissue. And we see that they could effectively reduce the absorption rate of food and making it less likely to develop into fatty cells. And we see also reduction in triglycerides and low density lipoproteins. And also no significant effect to the liver or kidney functions. As we know, high body fat can lead to fatty liver and impair its functions. So when so this is now available and has been promoted from the abode since December. So, all in all, summary, to increase your muscle tone, you take the Jingsi herbal powder, and then you can also take the tablets. So we're very grateful for everybody's work and the development team, and most importantly, we're very grateful for Master for giving us the confidence and giving us the task to find a solution to health problems that other people cannot overcome, to not treat. So this is a picture of the Hualien team, and we're very grateful for their to be here, and we also welcome you to Hualien. And our deputy superintendent. So we're very grateful to see him, and then we have we're very and we have a round of applause for them. So we're grateful, even though we only meet once a year, but we hear that superintendent has so much information to share with all of us. And of the two medications, one is for muscle improvement, and the other one is to reduce fat resorption. So we're very grateful for everyone for developing this medication, and they were very diligent in following Master's order, finding cures from herbs. Now we find that if they take the herbal drinks just at the start of having any cold symptoms, it's very, very effective. And for those who have cancers or tumors, they were taking a different type of a drink. So very grateful that they would follow through with Master's instructions. And from our feedback, we find that from the feedback is they're able to find strength from the herbs that were able to help us, and that is from love of all life.
人荣誉杰出贡献奖，可谓是实至名归。西医重效，中医讲长效。中西医合疗与时俱进，展现医病救人的医疗是医界。
And some of the feedback is about using Western medicine combined with traditional Chinese herbal medications. They will focus on both short-term and long-term effects and giving an overall more comprehensive care to the patient.
大家听到癌症，因为我们的金葛师姐本身癌症，所以她说今天她其实是忙着去送会员的收据，可是最后一趴赶到这里，听到林欣荣院长的一个分享，她觉得一定要为复华，然后她说康乳，她每天都在享用。
And we had some testimonials from our readers for taking these herbal medications, herbal supplements.
他跟我一样，我们回去都是重看3小时回播的。你看我在主场跑来跑去，我回去是整个重看的，因为我要看我们的导播画面哪边 take 的画面，然后我去处理一下一些事情哈。所以我们在可是我没办法给他 Q&A 呢，院长。副院长，你们就笑在那边好了，因为时间我也没办法给你们 Q&A。慈韵师姐说，爱看高雄现场读书，有最新的实际脚步，充满正能量。
Some of the feedback is that very grateful for our superintendent, and this is the best time of the week to recharge.
在这边的于如说，草木有情，本草护体。最近开始流行病毒的季节，有朋友就分享一直在服用本草饮。即使24小时照顾生病的孩子，自己却完全没有被传染，连帮孩子看病的医生都觉得这个妈妈很神奇的能不被传染。感恩慈院医疗团队和师傅用心研究保健大众的健康。其实我那个佩珍他就说这个我们金丝本要那个就是你睡前给他喝了，早上起来你感觉一下，我有在做这件事哦，包括益生菌。所以我因为健康这个东西我不敢，我不是专业，不能去说。但是
this is feedback from our listeners that they have taken the herbal supplements before bed, and the next morning they're able to have a noticeable difference in their symptoms. Now, this is not a claim of therapeutic value that has any therapeutic value, but it's just a personal anecdote. And we hear that Superintendent Lin is a pioneer in using fetal cell transplant for treating Parkinson's disease in Taiwan. I'm very grateful for some of the feedbacks here, able to write it in a poem.
感恩每周读书会，让我们有许多的知识，还可以跟很多的人宣导。感恩上人带领我们静思系列守护大家的健康。
We're grateful for masters for creating these medications for all of us and treating and safeguarding our health.
亲爱的，我在这里。亲爱的，我跟你讲，那他们现在那个是最新品哦，已经在书轩都可以买得到。所以我们其实可以用一个最简单方式。不过非常感恩哦，就是中西医合疗，而且我们邀约的是院长，可是何父也坐在旁边，并且他们一副摆姿是说，来就来问吧，就来问吧。我没办法让人问啊，改天请你们莅临主场好不好？给我们满满的。
We're very grateful for them to be here.
而且你看，两个都比 OK， 来 OK 再一次，我们拍图
截
图做见证。何父你没有 OK， 院长，改天你们两个一起。
So let us ask them to come in person. They said okay. Once again, let us show our gratitude to Superintendent superintendent then and deputy superintendent. Once again,
因为你有正能量，跟他讲新年快乐哦！
I hope you all have a happy New Year.
快乐！哎，重来，快乐，来，新年快乐！有没有看到我们的陈情？院长非常感恩。然后呢，另外的陈情，我已经邀约到所长，他终于呢点头答应，可是安排在2026年，不要怀疑。2025年。
And we also have the doctors have already in our speaker list. And that will be joining us next year because we ran out of time slot this year.
他会2月26，他今天先来探路，看看我这个主持人，他欣不欣赏，再决定他要来主场还是视讯分享吗？所以教授的故事也很感动。2月26，我们的陈教授会来这边分享。另外就是所长啊，其实跟所长夫人他们说啊，早就想要送茶叶蛋来，只是呢要热腾腾的，真的摸起来热腾腾，